works. It's not ever like that. And you make that face to the camera every week. People get
God Church.
You ever seen that face before?
right here at Canonsburg UP Church, 112 West Pike Street, Canonsburg, PA. 15317. Call Beverly at 724-745-0800. She'll love me for that.
Right.
Say, Kenton said to call. Okay?
She's gone.
She'll be back.
She was almost really gone.
Oh,
I scared her.
why?
Because I said hi, and her back was to me as she was leaving, and she did jump a little bit.
Did she?
Yeah, I said,
I can't jump
oh
anymore.
boy, that's a whole different issue.
I can't jump anymore.
By the way, we're all back together.
Yeah, there's the three of us. I'm Ken Klink, just the piano player, Pastor Don Coleman, Alvin,
Al Barker, welcome
Barker.
back from
You guys missed a great show out of Sight and Sound. It was.
Sight and Sound
Oh,
Theater in
I want to know.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
How do they have
It
a
was
flood in the
outstanding.
theater?
Excuse me?
How do they have a flood in the theater?
Yeah, how did they fill the whole theater
Well,
up
they
with
were-
that much water?
They were inside the ark when it flooded.
Oh, got it. Okay. So
The
that's
whole stage was the inside of
the
the ark.
ark.
The
It's
stages, but how does the audience? There's
Well,
a
you
lot
The
of
audience, as
The
being
audience
in
is
the
in the
audience,
water.
no, the audience is in the ark. 'Cause-
oh, we're in the
So
ark.
here's the end of the ark and the two sides of the ark and the two side stages. So you feel like you're right in the ark.
Boy,
Do they make it rock back and forth?
No.
you know, but their video, the quality of their videos, amazing.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that they probably have a budget much higher than our budget, because you can see that's why we had to put Al on the air, and the set decorator quit already.
So they had animals, you know, in all the stalls, in all the stalls all around. And some of them were real animals, like there was 2 real llamas, there was 2 real goats, there was 2 real
I know what it's
camels,
like to be with
but
two
there
goats.
was 2 elephants that were fictitious. There was 2 of these animals that were fictitious, and it was difficult to tell the difference between the real animals and the fake animals.
And were people moving the fake animals like on Broadway?
I don't know how they moved them.
They moved though.
They moved, and I don't know whether they were images on a screen or whether they were 3D.
Well, you know how they do that.
I mean, they had these 2 elephants, and it was amazing what they were able to do, but they weren't real,
You know-
and they looked as if they could.
Now,
be
was there
real.
music in that?
Yes, it's a musical.
Oh.
You know how you can tell the difference?
No. Is this a trick question?
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't think it was a trick question. I mean, I'm worried that
They do
you're
the same
worried that
antics over and over again, you know, but it was pure.
No,
I was trying to see whether they did the same
Same thing,
same
yeah.
head nods over and over again, but
They didn't.
I'm sure that happened, but they were so far apart that you forgot, you know,
What
what
the
the old
sequence
band.
was.
My thought is the difference. Yeah, you can tell the difference between the real and the fake is that the real ones eat real food and the fake ones eat fake food.
But none of them were eating.
Oh.
I got nothing on
So you know what that reminded me of? Jim Carrey in
which movie.
The Life where they show the guy's whole life.
Actually, Dodd, what's that Jim Carrey movie?
Yeah, she'll know.
Oh yeah, she'll know. She's a big Jim Carrey fan.
So I had to do some So after we watched the show, I had to go back to the Bible and read about it.
Yeah.
And revisit it. So Noah's father was Methuselah.
Okay. Yeah.
He lived to be 996 years old. Noah was 600
when he built the ark.
Yeah, when he built the ark.
Amazing. See?
It took him 30, 40 years to build the ark. And he invited a bunch of, he went to town because he and his sons decided there was no way they were going to be able to build this ark just by themselves, and they needed help. So they went into town. Well, a lot of this stuff is probably made up. I don't know. They went into town and enlisted a bunch of volunteers to come out, promising that they could come. And then when it came time for the flood, they walked away and didn't come on the ark.
Really?
And after they had spent decades building it, they walked away, and they only so there was only 8 humans on the ark. somewhere.
So only Noah's family, right?
Yes.
And one stowaway?
No.
It's amazing the kind of thing. I mean, the scriptures are very limited in what they actually say.
Well, because
So,
in the movie there was one stowaway.
In which movie?
Noah, the movie.
Yeah, which
The latest
the
one.
latest one. Yeah, exactly. These are all. In order to get a full-length feature, you're going to have to fill in some blanks.
Well, why not?
Whether or not these are true,
Well,
I don't
that's
know.
why I was curious.
Yeah.
I wanted to
There's
see
nothing
what,
about that in
you know,
there.
because they have to make up. They got a character, and they've
Yep.
got to make up this whole story that lasts for 2.5 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was curious what parts of that did they make up, and what parts of it
Fictionalized.
are.
Well,
You
you
know,
know, we had a very
The townspeople think that's not in the scriptures.
We
Could
had
be.
very-
But
Could be
when you
true.
read about Noah, there's other references to other documents besides the Bible that refer to, that talk about Noah. And so some
And
of
that
those,
would be,
some
yeah.
of those other documents might elaborate more on stuff like that.
Well, this is very similar to the conversation that you and I had last week when I was you about, I said I had watched The Passion of Christ
Oh,
and about Mary with the towel spoken of.
yeah. So that would be an example of, yeah, not in the scriptures. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
And you know, actually,
Mhm.
I mean, who would have had the foresight to remember what Christ said on the cross? Mother, behold your son.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the people who were there
Well, okay, but
in that moment.
that would have just been passed verbally, right? Until
Yeah.
somebody wrote it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
They weren't writing it down, though.
You mean they weren't capable of writing?
I'm sure they were capable.
They
but I
were
don't think
documenting it at the time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, no.
They wrote on it years later.
Right.
That's right, right.
Yeah. No.
So, of course, this is fiction. I mean,
Well,
especially if you're going to make something.
They say that God spoke to them, spoke the words to them. And so
Right, well-
what God speak is what's the Bible is written.
Right, but I was talking
Spoke to
about
people who
movie.
wrote it.
I believe that those men were inspired by God. But my personal bias on all that is that they were still men. Even though they may have been inspired by God to write, and God bless them, they did. But how much of their own?
Well, and I think that's to me it's God's word as it's spoken and interpreted by the
Yes.
Spirit. Because anytime, I say this all the time, if you whip open that Bible somewhere, plant your finger down, and there's a context to that, because there's times where it says kill whatever. So
Right.
that wouldn't be like, okay, instruction for you to do what's
Right.
written on the page.
Right.
It's part of a story, it's part of a much larger context, and we have to understand all of that to know how it makes sense for us.
Well,
to
and-
do.
yeah.
Like, please don't build an ark.
Well,
You know, I mean,
but just people up there
if we, there's room at your house more so than there is in the church parking lot. If you want to do it at your house,
Yeah.
I still suggest not, but better there than here.
But you know what? Sometimes when it rains hard, your front yard fills up.
Like yesterday.
Yeah. No, it didn't fill up.
Didn't fill up.
Well, it didn't rain long.
But wow, we lost power. My kids are home today from school.
I know.
2 of my kids.
Yeah.
The other one I'm pretty sure is at
So
school.
because roads were closed and some of the schools didn't have power.
Yeah.
And I don't think the teachers went to work either because the parking lot was empty. Now it's all central.
So,
Yeah.
So we had a little contest. We were sitting there.
And this is part of the
while we're
Sight and Sound?
we're at Sight and Sound.
Yep.
Because next year they're coming out with a new show.
Oh,
So
brand
Noah,
new.
so Noah is 30 years old. They did it.
Oh.
They first did it 30 years ago.
Wow.
And they've done it several times here at this theater. But so next year is going to be a brand new show that they've never done before.
Do you know what it
So
is?
they just made the announcement 2 days after we got back.
And it's
And so while we were at the show, we were gambling.
okay. All right.
What do you say? What do you say?
Yeah.
What do you
I
say?
don't know what it is, so I'm willing to get in on this. I have zero clue.
Yeah,
What
so
have they done?
My guess was Joe.
You guessed Joe. Okay.
Okay.
So they've done. I know they've done David and Esther. Obviously, they've done Jesus. They've done Noah. They've done
They've done
Moses.
all the easy
Oh,
ones.
yeah.
What else? What else did they do? Do you know what else they've done?
I don't know. But name a
Jonah?
character.
Well, I won't guess what it is.
Jonah?
Jonah. I think they've done Jonah.
Jonah makes sense. Have they? I'm sure they've done Daniel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They've done
That was
Joseph.
interesting to see the lions and how they did that.
Probably. I don't know. not seen that.
Oh, I mean, I assume if it's good enough for Donny Osmond, then it's probably good enough for.
And the amazing Technicolor.
Yeah. Okay, so let me see. I bet they've probably done Paul, right?
Well, that was one of our guests.
Oh, okay. So they haven't done it. Okay. So
did they come out
Paul,
with it?
They have it. Let's
They-
one. Let's.
Yeah, they've announced it, but you don't know. I know now. So that was one
Have
of the
they
guesses
done?
was
Have they
Paul.
done? Have they done?
Adam and Eve was another
Ruth?
one.
Have they done
We
Ruth?
figured it had not to be an X-rated.
Well, what about Martha and Mary and Lazarus?
That would have been Jesus, right? They're not going to do a whole thing on just that.
Well, they
Would
could.
they?
You know, Lazarus
Ruth. Have they done Ruth?
No, but I've seen
Ruth would be a good one.
I've seen Ruth at a different place.
Ruth, is that her daughter-in-law stayed with
I
her?
thought,
That's
Sam-
it. She is the dog.
Yeah, okay.
Another guest was
Samuel would be a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what
none
is
of
it?
that. None of those are.
I'll go with Paul.
Yeah, but none of those are.
Okay. What's the one?
Joshua, Linda got it.
Joshua built Jericho.
You know,
Jericho.
we sung that in church.
Jericho.
Joshua built about Joshua.
Fought the battle of Jericho, and the walls came tumbling down. And I'm pretty sure the kids
No, we sang it.
as adults.
So I'm sure the walls are going to be coming tumbling.
No,
That's- that's,
well,
That's a problematic story, but we'll leave that for another time. There's a lot in there. You know where it might start? Egypt.
Okay.
Because that's where Joshua left Egypt with Moses, right?
Yes.
So
That's the same Joshua.
yep, held the arms up. He and Aaron, I believe it was, that held Moses' arms
it might
up.
start on
Could start there.
on leaving Egypt.
Yep, could go all the way back to there, and then it would be all the way through the desert. Because what is
Did
it?
he live to 500 years old too?
I have to look.
See, and that was part of when I was reading about Noah. They lived so long, and I thought that after they it all dried up and everything, God spoke to Noah and said, "Listen, maybe I made a mistake, and by erasing everything except for you, I'll never
Never
do
use
that.
again.
I'll never do that
with
again."
water.
But I also thought that he said that
With water.
the ages of people was not going to be more than 120.
There is. I can't remember exactly where it is, but yes, there is.
It's right there. It's in that part. So maybe that's the end of when people start.
I did not know
only
that.
live to 100, a maximum
I did not know
120.
that. He gave the max 120 and you're out.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So you're only halfway there.
oh good lord.
Yeah. But then he also gave the
Rainbow.
when you know. Right? Is that what's the reading rainbow song? Thing.
The more you know.
The more you know.
But it was the rainbow, and
That was.
so was that his promise that he would never do it with water again?
You never flood the walls again.
Right, with water.
I mean, would he flood with something else?
I didn't think
fire.
he said he would ever eliminate. Eliminate.
Well, no,
his
right.
graves. He didn't. It was.
I think God can do what he wants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there are those now, of course, looking around the world and thinking, well, this is it. There's too much wrong. We got tornadoes and hurricanes and volcanoes and lava and floods but that is always. That's
Makes
the
life
world.
exciting, It makes.
I
life
guess
exciting.
so.
As long as you're not under St. Helens, right? As long as
Right. And you know what's
as long as you're not under.
Did you ever
the
watch
sea
that
ice.
movie?
No.
Oh,
I'm not a big disaster movie
Oh, I
fan. Yeah, no thanks.
And by the way, if you guys want to go next year, we're going right at the end of April, Tuesday and Wednesday. And if you want to go, talk to Jeannie Jones.
If it's the day after Easter again, I don't think I can pull that one off.
I don't know what
No,
Yeah, that was why I didn't know this year.
It took me 3 days to recover from Easter.
Yeah.
Although I have to tell you, do you remember Easter a year ago? I sat up in that chair and thought, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And this Easter.
Oh, I remember that. I looked up at that chair and thought, I don't know if you can do this
So
again.
Easter is April 5th, and I believe we're going in the 20s.
Okay.
Birthday?
Yeah, somewhere around.
Okay.
And your birthday's coming. Now.
Pretty soon.
May
21.
21st.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. So this is.
Wait a second.
What?
That would be Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
How about that?
Well, and you're going to be 62.
5.
You're just so young looking right now. You know, that when I came in the door and saw you, you know, I thought, well, he looks so young. Maybe
I go on Medicare tomorrow.
Well, I'd never know that by looking at you. I'm telling you, we'd never know that, my goodness gracious. 65. Are you all excited about Medicare? You should be.
This is the Medicare episode. Thanks for joining.
Don't know. You'll have to ask me in 6 months.
Then you can get your teeth fixed and your eyes examined. It costs like nothing.
So,
It's wonderful to be old.
is it?
No.
I'll trust you.
No.
Yeah, the number of times you've said, Dawn, your body's going to betray you. Dawn, be careful with yourself. Don't move. I'm like, dude, I'm 20.
You know what? He started to walk again in the evening, okay? And he has his regular route. He's walking.
And you're worried about me dying.
Yeah.
Does he walk past your house?
No.
No, are you kidding? Are you kidding?
I
He
don't
wouldn't
wanna-
drive past my house.
That's true. Your house is not on the way anywhere.
I know that. You only visit, after you get pushed into doing it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because it smells smoky in there.
Yeah.
Do you smell that when you come in my house? See, thank you,
I
Al.
just smell the cigar smoke, I guess.
He doesn't smell anything anymore, so it's...
No, I smell my nose works good.
Okay,
Yeah, it
all right.
works.
How's the taste buds coming?
No good.
Bummer. Well, so now did you make your dental appointment?
I did. I'm going on Tuesday to get the impression made, and I'm getting the teeth pulled on
Make sure you say
the
Medicare.
19th. So, yeah.
And
I've already given him my card.
Cool.
I've already done it.
Cool. And do you know what you're going to owe?
No.
Okay. Well,
Hey guys, how you doing? This is, we're just talking here.
we're just counting. But you know what? I told you the other day that your sermon was good.
Thank you
Somebody
very much.
else said to me this week,
Yeah.
Don's sermon was good.
Well, that's
And the
nice.
source of that person was like,
Look,
they would never say anything.
here's the
and I
market.
told you, here's why.
Yeah.
Because you were preaching about Jesus.
Okay, I'm always preaching about Jesus.
No.
But hey,
He talked about people that saw Jesus after he...
Right.
Yeah.
Mary.
Yes.
yeah, this Sunday.
And you handled the women in the pulpit thing very well.
You mean that
They belong
they
there.
belong there? Yeah, and everywhere else.
Well, yeah, but you handled it very well.
Yeah,
I'm glad you
the
brought it up.
bench.
There's
Or
not.
the organ bench.
You're going to replace me with a woman? You already have somebody in mind.
I mean,
You're waiting for
they
me.
replace me with the women. Yes, the day that they
That's why.
the day they offered me the call, I was expecting you to die.
Every church I belong to, we've had a woman organist except here.
Well,
But I like it. I like it.
I like you too.
hey,
So, but you asked me the other day, why don't I play more often? I think the reason I don't is I'm intimidated.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
By this guy.
So how's this?
But you make me nervous.
I'll get a tire iron, okay, and I'll do a number on his hands,
So I'm trying
and then
to-
other people
I'm
on
trying to
hand.
get him to take a week off.
Yeah.
And so he's not here.
Oh, so like
It
playing
won't be as
front
bad.
of him, is that what it is?
Bad.
Well, you have to start the service saying, this is what church would be like after Kenton's dead. And then start the prayer.
And everybody says, wow, that was so amazing.
I hope they do.
So why don't you just play duets? Piano and organ. Can go to the organ?
He's busy. He's been
Al goes on
traveling
the
a lot.
piano. That'd be
You
beautiful.
gotta find the music,
Done.
He's been traveling a lot, and it just hasn't been.
All I know
I've
is
got no excuses.
since the
We
time,
play a duet every week.
since the time, you often a trio, but anyway.
And a trio.
I was working on the praise music today.
No,
Yeah,
yes.
but it was what you picked, not what Megan said.
What
This week is,
I was just seeing if I could play the chorus.
This week
if I
is,
could figure it out.
like
We got 4 new songs up there.
water on my skin, holy water,
Yeah, don't do it with that accent, please.
and like
Oh, don't. Yeah, please don't. Because you're only going to try and do an accent. Oh,
I know because you do.
we're not in the bayou. We're not in the bayou. But,
again.
oh, no, please.
I need you.
I was going to say
Lord,
something.
I need you.
I was going to say something before. Now I'm completely
Lost.
lost.
You mean,
track
actually,
of-
you may-
Oh, I was going to talk about this Sunday.
This Sunday coming up?
Yeah, this Sunday.
You going to preach about Jesus again?
3 things. All right.
It's coming in 4 days.
4 days. 3 things, right? First off,
Are you going to be here Sunday?
it's
I'm pretty sure.
June
I'll be here.
June the what? June the what?
It's June the 5th.
Yeah, which would mean
But afterwards, we're running up to Erie to see Bells. See
How are you?
my sister
bless
playing. Some bells.
you play here Sunday. May.
Oh, May
Communion.
Communion, yeah.
Communion. We're going to have a little moment from Mission about the Mission Washington
Jake.
from Jake Kreitzman. That'll be very cool. And I'm going to preach on,
Jesus.
sure, yes.
Somebody that saw Jesus.
2
Oh, yeah.
unidentified men, actually.
Well,
Because they were on the road to Emmaus.
Well, don't leave out Thomas, though. Don't leave Thomas out of the mix.
Well, I won't be preaching. I won't be
I know, not
preaching
just
on that
me.
this Sunday.
I know, but don't leave him out.
Just
Because that's a story.
do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Let me shut up.
No.
What? I don't know what that means. Be patient.
Hold on. Hold on.
So what?
You got 5 stories, right? There's only so many. If you go to your
I know,
Bible
but
right now,
I like the Thomas.
So these two guys never got identified in the book.
we don't get a
It
name
says that 2 men
in the
came,
Bible. Yep.
Yeah,
Two men,
and remember
2 men
walking
saw
along.
him, and then they went and told other people.
They're walking along. They are super sad because Jesus died.
Yeah.
And then another man saddles up next to them who asks them, hey, what's going on? And they tell him the whole story and whatnot. And he then starts to tell them through the scriptures why what happened needed to happen. And they get to where they're going and they say, hey, friend, why don't you eat with us? It's late. And the third guy makes like he was going to continue on. He says, okay, he comes in. And then they break bread together.
Yeah.
And at that moment, it says their eyes were open.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden, he's gone.
So 3 of them saw.
2 of them, because the third was Jesus.
Yeah, the 2 guys and the third was Jesus.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember that story.
Yeah.
Third guy. Oh, okay.
It's really, so that's in Luke.
But you know, I think you consider a lot of things more metaphorical in the Bible than I do. I believe that some of the miracles that we say could have been used just to teach us.
Yeah.
I think some of those things really, really happen. You have to believe the miracle.
What miracle don't I believe in?
I'm not saying you don't.
I think you just said that.
No,
I think you just said Dawn. I think you think no.
Well, okay, well,
I'm
you changed Christmas all around for me.
I didn't change it.
Well,
I just actually read the scripture, and then you're like, oh wait, all those things that we put into place are not in there. I think could have been. I don't know, but it's just.
I know that, but now I can't look at a manger scene anymore.
Yeah.
I can't look at it.
Yeah. It's what we've done is we've taken the Bible, we've just expanded on it.
How did we 3 kings know where to find Jesus in this person's house?
Star.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it doesn't say there's 3 kings. There's 3 gifts. We don't know how many. Yeah, that's the thing.
Well, we
added.
sing.
Right.
We 3 kings of Orion.
Yeah, that's what we sing.
Yeah.
Not in the Bible, so we don't know.
Whoever made that song up, just had to improvise a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, star of wonder, star of night. Yeah. Star of royal beauty. Okay.
It's a good number.
Artistic license.
Simple.
I know what that is.
Oh, you do.
Yes, I do.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I take artistic license with everything.
You do.
That's why I take that contemporary music and change it into real music.
You can't. You clink it up.
Yeah, I clink it up.
Sometimes you clunk it up. Okay, that's
Clunks don't happen very often.
Oh, anyway, we're winding down.
No, we're not, because yours is going to hurry.
No, it's going to go off no matter what.
It is
You got
not
4
going to
minutes.
go off.
This video is going to end in 4 minutes.
We have
3.5.
meeting this Sunday. We have choir this Sunday.
Yep, choir 11.
At 11, at 8:30, it's 10 click, I guess. And
How many people were at the 11 o'clock
I know.
last week? Was it full or what?
Well, it was.
Very nice.
What
We
we
had a
had?
little bit more than 8:30.
Yeah, but when 8:30, if you would have been there at 8:30, oh my. Oh, you
It
weren't.
was the same.
Yeah.
Same amount.
10. I think there was 10 different. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, that's what the official numbers are.
I guess when you sit up
I
here in
didn't
front,
count.
some maybe people come in
What was it,
afterwards. You don't
300
notice, but I stood up here
people?
and watched them while they were playing.
Total,
It looked like there was a
304.
lot more people.
Oh, no, 154. Yeah.
Anyway, so
Don't just wave me away with your
I don't know what numbers you're.
I'm not a fly lighting on your elbow.
By the way, Ken, I did something for you this week. I replaced the
Yes.
that shines down on you here at the piano.
This one right here?
It's working now, yeah.
This one?
That might be the reason why it doesn't work so often.
Yeah. It
It's knocked out.
shines down right on you.
You know what? It used to work until a few weeks ago.
You
Again,
used to have to play in darkness. Now you can play.
Because it's just a little light of mine.
Are you gonna let it
You're
shine?
gonna let it shine. Yeah. Well, it used to shine down right on me. And there's one to shine right on you.
Okay, let me
when you're preaching it.
let me break some news before we close out.
Nobody died today.
Lots of people died.
I know, but nobody that I care about.
Lots of people died that you care about because you love everyone.
I just made Al stop his head too.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm really good at getting these guys to head slap.
that's not the news I'm breaking. No, summer worship. So session
Wonderful.
From May 25th through August 31st, we're gonna gather for one worship service at 10 a.m. So that starts May 25th.
21st?
May 25th.
I thought we were going after.
28th. 28th. May 25th through August 28th.
I can't wait.
So that is
That's Memorial Weekend.
Memorial Day weekend through Labor Day weekend, one service.
At 10 o'clock.
One service at 10 a.m. In between that, we have 3 Sundays. These next 3 Sundays, 8:30 to 11. So this Sunday, 8:30 to 11. Next Sunday, 8:30 to 11. The following Sunday, 8:30 to 11.
And
then
if you're confused about all this, just go to our website. It will explain everything.
Just come and visit us on the 21st, and that's when things
We'll remind you.
We'll remind you.
Yeah, I'll remind you this Sunday. Yeah. So
Remind me. I enjoy one worship service. Not because it's less work, because one worship is just as much work. It's just as much preparation.
Communion this Sunday, Mother's Day next Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
Student Sunday the following Sunday is going to be a lot of fun. And then will be Memorial Day weekend. So summer's here before you know it.
It's just coming like a freight train.
It is.
It'll be 4th of July before you can swallow.
All right, got church?
Get church right here at Canonsburg UP Church because he wants this video to end.
We'll see you on Sunday.
Stick around for some music.
Well, there's music today, I promise, because I didn't do it last week.
There will be music.
There will be music. That's one thing I promise.
Music last week?
No, I didn't do music last week. I know.
Is that the first time you've not done music?
No. Thanks so much for watching.
Well, I tried to. I was on the bus and I just couldn't
No,
hear.
there was no music.
Bye-bye now.
Bye, everybody.